Hello there, lovely people, it's Alex from Nintendo Life here, and today I am going to tell you what I think about the Nintendo Switch. You know, that new console that Nintendo announced today? Yeah, I'm going to tell you what I think about it. This is going to be very ad-lib, it's not scripted at all, I haven't even got a list of things I want to talk about. I know roughly what I'm going to talk about, but basically I'm just going to let the words flow out. They're going to go blah, 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 blah. Incidentally, if you're watching this on Nintendo Life, hello. If you're not, then go over to nintendolife.com, you can click that link up there. It's a card, or the link in the description, and you'll be able to see what every other person from Nintendo Life thinks about this, not just me. So if you want more than one opinion, check it out. Go on, off you go. So, the Nintendo Switch, what do I think about it? Well, if I had to put it into one word, fan-dabby-dozy, to be honest with you. Seriously, it seems to be really straddling that line between the 3DS and the Wii U that really, neither one was quite one or the other, and it seems that the Switch really seems to have got that absolutely nailed down if the trailer is everything that it appears to be. I think the whole idea of having the single platform where you got the home console and the handheld all rolled into one, where it's not quite, you know, sort of one and then it can sort of communicate. It is basically a handheld unit that goes into a dock and you can use on your TV, and it looks like it's going to be really powerful as well. I mean, I've actually had a look at some of the information, some of what they've shown on the Switch and compared it to other things and things like that, and it looks like it's going to be very powerful, maybe even as powerful, or at least in the same sort of ballpark as the PS4 and Xbox One, which would be tremendously exciting. The whole sort of way that it was presented as well, I thought was absolutely superb. Compared to the Wii U reveal, which was bonkers, to be honest with you, it was really concise. It showed what it could do in all these different situations and things like that, and I'm not sure how often you're going to get two, as I'm about to call them, the NX. You're going to get two Switch consoles, and you're going to have two people playing a basketball game, having just played a basketball game. I don't know whether that would happen, but it shows you how it can be applied and things like that, and I think that's really, really cool. And, you know, sort of, if you've got two Switches, say you and a friend have got one, and you can take them each to each other's houses, and maybe if there's some way, rather than just using the dock, you could maybe, well, I suppose you'd need two screens anyway, but if there was, you know, you could take another dock along. I imagine the docks probably aren't going to be that expensive, because I don't think there's going to be that much going on inside there, apart from maybe some sort of upscaling or something like that. But I imagine on the whole, most of what's happening will be taking place inside the handheld unit itself, inside the sort of the tablet-y thing. And actually, one of our contributors, Alan Lopez, really cool guy, said he's been chatting to one of his friends who's in the tech biz, as it were, and says that apparently it looks like it's going to be about the same spec as the Google Pixel C. That is just hearsay. I don't know whether there's any sort of substantial evidence to support that or anything like that, and I don't know how powerful the Google Pixel C is, so that's basically worthless. I don't even know why I brought it up. It also looks like that we're going to be seeing some semi-ports of Wii U games. Like, we basically had what was essentially Mario Kart 8 running on there, although it was not standard Mario Kart 8 for numerous reasons. Number one, there was King Boo, who is not part of Mario Kart 8, and you may sort of say, well, maybe it's just got a few extra characters, but no, it's also got a brand new feature, which is that it seems to have a reserve item that you can have as well, which is something that you could not have in Mario Kart 8, and it was, you know, you couldn't even hold an item behind you, and a lot of people were saying, oh, that's not very good, you know, it sort of removed a tactical element of that. So this is clearly not just a straight up port or anything like that with additional characters. This is something new. They have developed upon it. It may even be a brand new Mario Kart game, and they're just using some of the graphics from Mario Kart 8. We don't know. All we know is that there's some new stuff, and that there is indeed a Mario Kart game on the Switch. In fact, one of my colleagues, in fact my boss, said maybe it's going to be called Mario Kart Switch, because it's on the Nintendo Switch and you can switch between the two items. I told him to stop rather immediately. Another thing, the Pro Controller that we saw, and I'm using Pro Controller in a very loose term, I think that is absolutely superb, that they've got that standard normal controller, and it looks like they've got they've got analog triggers as well. If you look at the images, you can see there's sort of quite a gap between them, suggesting there's quite a bit of movement available in there. So if there actually is that sort of analog movement, my goodness gravy. analog triggers, thank goodness. That was my biggest problem with the Wii U, genuinely biggest problem with the Wii U, was that it just had buttons, and it And also it looks like that these Pro controllers may have motion controls inside them, because you saw some people playing Splatoon 2 on the on the Switch, and I'm using the term Splatoon 2 very loosely because we don't know whether it is actually a sequel. I think it is personally a sequel due to a number of things that I'll probably get onto, but for the moment, let's concentrate on the motion thing that I mentioned. You can see a load of people and they're playing Splatoon 2, and you see on the screen, you know, that they're all sat around, they're all using the Pro controllers, and they're sat around, and you can see on the screen the movement is definitely not just a right stick, it's very much the motion controls from the original Splatoon. So if they're not in there, and Splatoon generally, you know, can be controlled by the Pro controller, I genuinely think that it's got to have some sort of motion controls in there then, because that was such an integral part of Splatoon, and to remove it would be absolutely gutting for everyone involved, no doubt. But why do I think it's Splatoon 2 and not just Splatoon Remastered? Well, a number of reasons. They've got new hairstyles, again, that could just be remastered. They've got brand new animations, and you don't really get that in remastered games. The animations generally stay the same, and it's more just sort of graphical updates and stuff like that, and maybe some new items thrown in. Animations, you know, aren't really, I mean, the animations, it's not like they're additional, they are changed, you know, from basically when they, you know, start up, they go rip when they spawn. And also, they spawn in a different formation compared to the original Splatoon, so that is another little thing to take note. Also, the textures are so much better and cleaner, and yeah, that's why I think it's a new one. And to be honest, I think, you know, sort of Splatoon may have been testing the waters, and this is where they're going to go all out and really get everything absolutely right. I don't want to witter on for too long, so I'll just sort of wrap things up very briefly. I just want to say the individual controller functionality that, again, Eurogamer leaked, I think that is superb. I think it's much, you know, much more suited for, you know, it's not going to be a hardcore thing. It's just, if you want to play Mario Kart, you don't need anything huge. I mean, if you're playing it, you know, like professionally, I mean competitively, if you're playing it competitively, then yes, you're going to want a proper controller. But if you just want to muck around with your mates, you don't need a big controller, and I think Nintendo are wise to that, and they're very wise to add that functionality. That really is, that is proper good. Also, you can see a plus button, a minus button, which is start and select, obviously, and indeed plus and minus from the old Wii days. You can see a home button, and you can also see a random square button, which I'm pretty sure that's going to be the share button. You heard it here first. So in conclusion, I'm hugely excited for the Nintendo Switch. I'm running on nothing but adrenaline and caffeine right now, so yep, I think it's great. I'm really looking forward to seeing what else we're going to find out about it, so that is what I think about it. Hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, then why don't you speculate wildly upon that subscribe button now that you've actually got some proper evidence, and be sure to check out NintendoLife.com for all sorts of lovely